straight ahead.
Well, first of all, did you get Elliot's breakdown of Nick Brooks' commitment?
I did not.
Well, we probably should do that. I mean, 4-star tackle, 6'8", 300. Is he actually 375? I mean, 247 got him at 375. I can't believe that.
385.
385.
Verified from his head coach.
Oh my goodness.
Yep,
okay.
He is a big boy. 6'8", 385. First of all, before I even talk about football, Nick has. Well, first of all, he has 17 siblings. At one point, he lived in Georgia for 2 years to develop football-wise. He's been all over. Currently lives with a different family member. He's just a lot. A lot has happened in his life, and this was probably the coolest moment in my job so far, just to see it come to fruition and to be there when he announced. And he reached out to me about getting a graphic together and stuff like that. And just to have a relationship with a recruit like that to this point in my job is just really cool. And to be able to be there and shake his hand and shake his dad's hand and obviously do the media stuff as well and have a story ready and all that. But it was just a really cool story. And Nick's a really good kid too. He's a monster on the football field. Yeah, I'll have a story about him. One time I went to watch him practice, and because he's got this background and what he's done with his football career, they kind of let him warm up and do some stuff with the O-line coach because he's not going to do any defensive stuff when they're doing defensive stuff. Though he did play a little bit of defense 2 weeks ago in the Pleasant Valley game, which surprised me. But he wanted to be out there. So that's an indication as to who Nick is. But when I was at this practice, I'm filming and taking photos, and I'm filming, and the O-line coach points to me and says, "Okay, after you hit me, run at him." I'm getting video, and all of a sudden this monster starts running at me, and I knew he wasn't going to hit me, but there was a moment of fear. Just this big guy running at me. But this is a huge addition. Obviously, you got Joey Van Wetsinga, who's now a 3-star on Rivals to start the 2025 class. He's a 5.6 rating, so a middle of the road 3-star who could play offense or defense on the interior for Iowa. He played D tackle, or they're looking at him for the center position too. So kind of a Logan Jones kind of prospect, but that was a good start. Joey Van Wetsinga, little brother of Rusty Van Wetsinga, who's a walk-on at Iowa this year and is Hayden Large's backup at fullback. He'll probably see time sooner rather than later at that fullback spot. But so a good start there with Joey out of Pleasant Valley in Bettendorf, Iowa, Quad Cities area. But Nick is a national recruit that got national attention before he committed. This isn't a Cody Fox thing where they offered Cody, Notre Dame tried to get in there, and Cody said, "No, I'm sticking with Iowa." Alabama came forward with an offer. Georgia came forward with an offer. Texas came forward with an offer. Florida State did. LSU did. The list goes. I mean, Iowa State did, if you count them. Michigan. I mean, these programs that are in the state and powerhouse programs nationally wanted Nick Brooks, 5.8, 4-star, and top 150 recruit in the country. This dude was heavily recruited. He's been to campuses. He's been recruited by other places. And he may very well take official visits this year. The way he's described it to me is, you only get this opportunity one time. And fair enough. I mean, you're getting these schools to pay for you to travel and see them. And I think that's fair. But he feels cared for, and he feels like, I mean, he said that Iowa is tight end U and offensive line U because of what they've been able to churn out and send to the NFL. He is a great get. And you can see FutureCast. I put that in May of this year after I talked to him the first time. So we were in the know for a little while. He's a number 1 recruit in the 2025 class in Iowa, just ahead of Thomas Meyer out of Clear Lake, and who may very well end up being a Hawkeye as well. But Brooks is a great add from a football standpoint, from a culture standpoint, and one thing that Coach Brian White from Kennedy said to me is he doesn't think there's a better fit for Nick. He thinks it's perfect. It's right down the road from family. It's a place where he can be connected, but he can still grow. There's plenty of structure, obviously, and you know, when you talk about high level recruits like this at the high school level, they may very well be just that good because of the athleticism and the genetics that they have. Nick has the athleticism and the genetics. He pulls like he's 250 pounds. I'll tell you that. And at the same time, he wants to be great. He wants to continue to work. He wants to play in the NFL. He wants to play left tackle at Iowa. He said playing at Iowa is a dream come true for him. And with the work ethic, he's set the Kennedy school record in squat. He squats over 500 pounds. I mean, like, the list goes on and on. And one thing that I heard him saying when he was working at a practice, it was hot. You could tell he was hot. And he goes, it's about sacrifice. It's about sacrifice. He's walking around giving other teammates high fives and stuff like that. And he appears to be a pretty quiet, soft-spoken kid, but he loves football and he wants to be great. And the Iowa staff cares for him in a way that makes him feel at home. And it also provides the opportunity for him to reach the NFL and to be the best he can be. He said he's been told he could be the next Tristan Wirfs, and that's a great comparison. He kicks steps well. He's 6'8", 385, right? Kennedy's starting quarterback is 5'10". So, they're not passing the ball to the left side of the field. The other thing about Nick, too, is that he doesn't just play left tackle. He rotates on the offensive line between left tackle, left guard, and right guard. So he's got that versatility. He's working on a bunch of different things. Comes out of the same high school as Connor Colby. Has connections to the program in Max White as well as a walk-on running back. I think, it's a great fit for a ton of different reasons for Nick. And he's not Caden Proctor. I'll say that. He is not Caden Proctor. And I don't say that to put Caden in a negative light. I say that because the comparisons by adults is not fair. He's his own person. He's doing his own thing. He's committed to Iowa.
But until he signs on that dotted line next year, fans here he's taking official recruits out. That's going to become a narrative on social media. Because that's exactly what
it will, and it's already a narrative.
I don't know Nick personally. I'm obviously not recruiting like you, but based on everything I've heard and information out there, I agree with you. It sounds like the dynamic with his family is a lot different than with Keith.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. Nick has told me that he feels it in his heart, and I wrote about that, that he wants to be a Hawkeye and that he sees a path to playing time quickly. And this is something that he wants to do, that he wants to be. And I take Nick for his word. Things can change. For right now, I want to leave it at what I've said, but I have no reason to believe that he up and leaves the program on signing day, other than a history of other players doing it. I haven't seen or heard anything regarding Nick that would indicate he would do that, in my opinion.